20 years earlier, 1997, another anniversary we're celebrating today. Frank, I'm going to start with you on this one. A friendly between France and Brazil. Roberto Carlos with a free kick that people are still talking about. I actually looked this up on YouTube. It has 25 million views. You were involved in that game, Frank. What do you remember about the strike?
That's absolutely crazy. Roberto Carlos wasn't as known as he is, or he was maybe like 2 years after. But he was. We were talking about him and the free kicks. We were told that he was kicking good free kicks by some friends. We saw some games. I was on the bench. He was in Lyon, in Stade Gerland, and we saw the free kick. And I said, I think I was close to Patrice Lowe, former teammates, and I said, well, I was told that guy is pretty good in free kicks. And then we saw the kick, fantastic, and we saw the ball in the net, and we were on the side, so we couldn't see the curve of the ball. And I said, what happened? And I saw Marcel Desailly yelling at Fabien Barthez, what have you done? What have you done? Where did you put your wall? And he came back. We came back to the dressing room half time, and Marcel jumped on Fabien and said, Fabien, why did you put your wall? It's impossible. What the guy did, it's impossible. He said, yes, it's impossible. The ball was going to the corner kick spot and came back to my net. I don't understand how he did it. So check the TV tonight and you will see. It's impossible what he just did. Yeah, it was impossible, but he did it.
Sid, I mean, that's what makes it so special, right? It was just hard to believe it could occur.
Yeah, exactly that. That this is not normal. You know, you see loads of great goals, but most of them at least feel plausible. You know, even really brilliant goals. You sort of look at it and you say, okay, I can see how that was the thought process. I can see how that was executed, how that could have happened. But this is just absurd, as you say. I've actually asked Roberto Carlos about this goal, and I'd love to know Frank's view on this, having been there. Roberto Carlos claimed, and I don't know if this is partly, you know, humility on his part. He said, well, the thing is, he said, the ball was ridiculously light. And he said, and I just hit it as hard as I possibly could on the side of it. He said, so while of course he was trying to make it bend, swing out and back in, even he didn't anticipate that much movement on the ball. And I remember him describing it as like one of those plastic balls you play with as a kid. And it just moved too much for even Roberto Carlos to imagine that it would have been plausible to do that.
Frank, even as a former pro, you can appreciate the level of difficulty on something like that, no?
Yes, of course, and you can only applaud after you see that, because that's something you don't see every day. And I had the chance to be very close to the action, and as it said, I don't know. Yes, maybe because it was as we call a beach ball. They explain maybe the curve, but otherwise there is no explanation. It's impossible. It's not like you are close to the North Pole and the ball flies. No, like you can, and also you can see now balls are more flying than before. At our time, it was impossible to have that curve. Impossible, but he did it again.
1997, 25 million views on YouTube, almost as many views as Sid Lowe's article right now on ESPNFC.com is getting. Barcelona wants to sell Philippe Coutinho. Apparently, there are not a lot of folks lining up for him. More on the website.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.